Rob, you are an incomparable leader, mentor, visionary, and friend, and I can't see you anywhere, so I apologize. While working with you at TEAK, I saw how often you helped fellows find their path, and you taught me about how to engage with the world. Rob, please come to the stage so I can present the TEAK 2023 Changemaker Award in recognition of your exceptional leadership, which made it possible for TEAK and its fellows to thrive for 25 years and for generations to come.
You got me back. Those kids.
Tracy, I love you. Thank you for doing that. And they snuck in the kids. That was Michael and Alexander, for those of you who don't know, the little guys. So let me take you back 25 years. We were a lot younger then. And you've heard it a few times tonight. We had an aspiration 25 years ago that outstanding New York City kids who were excellent students, but with limited financial means, those students should have the same access to education and superb educational opportunities as their more affluent counterparts. And we thought, by starting this program, that maybe we could do our part to help level the playing field for New York City kids. So the design of TEAK, though, started about 26 years ago in a restaurant that's about 3 blocks from here. And the origins of TEAK really were developed on the back of a napkin, paper napkin in a restaurant. And I was having dinner with Justine Stamen Arriaga, and she had a dream. Her dream program, and you've heard a little bit tonight, would involve taking middle school kids in New York City and helping them get into outstanding high schools. It would be called a fellowship, because fellowship means there's a group, there's a cohort, and it was a group where it was cool to be smart. And she explained to me that where these kids are coming from, it wasn't really that cool to be a good student. It wasn't that cool to try hard. But in a fellowship, they would have each other, and they would support each other. Made a lot of sense. Each child would be mentored. We would have the normal tutoring after school and summer institute, and would cover math, science, and reading. But also, it was very critical to Justine that we had art and music and dance. TEAK kids had to dance. Whether they wanted to or not, they were gonna dance. And she also told me the story about DeWitt White and his death. And she told me the story, who was a great musician, and she told me then the story about TEAK Dyer, and she wanted to name this program after TEAK. We left that dinner, and within 48 hours, Justine had quit her job, and we started the TEAK Fellowship that week. I kid you not. And we were off to the races. We very quickly formed a board. And you just saw Tracy Nixon, who was co-chair with me, and you heard on the video from a number of board members, Bob Reeder, Fred Bowen, who is no longer with us, but was a mentor to Justine from Brown, Jackie Dyer, who was TEAK's mom, she joined the original board, Amy Waldman, who was a New York Times writer, Jill Olson, and together we formed this board, and we very quickly formed a staff. Justine was the leader. Melissa Wu, who's in the audience tonight, was one of our first leaders, and Jacques Pierre, who you saw in the video. Within a number of months, we then started interviewing up at the Dalton School fellows, and we picked 22 fellows in that initial class, as Denise mentioned earlier. And we started our first summer institute that summer, and TEAK was off to the races. And in the next 5 to 10 years, we built the program, we built the staff, we refined the concept, and we added one addition. We extended the mission to not just getting middle school kids into high schools, great high schools, but then staying with them and getting them into college. And that became the 10-year journey that we followed our kids on from then on at the TEAK Fellowship. Over those years, we also changed locations a lot, and there's folks, Neil Goldmacher is here from Newmark. We had a whole location saga. If you're in New York City, you're gonna have location sagas. We moved several locations, and we ultimately, because of Newmark, wound up in our location on 22nd Street on the west side. Also then, over the years leading up to today, we've had fantastic board members, a succession of fantastic board members, a succession of fantastic board chairs. You saw Rob and Matt tonight, they're terrific. Henry McVeigh and Ann Brennan I think are in the audience, both great board chairs. And most notably, Mark Becker. Mark, I was friends with Mark and Karen. Mark wanted to join a nonprofit board. I encouraged him to join the TEAK Fellowship Board, and I could never have imagined the transformative impact he would have on the TEAK Fellowship. And we will never forget what Mark Becker did and the inspiring leadership he provided for all these years for the TEAK Fellowship. We've had a succession of superb executive directors, from Justine to Lynn Sorensen to John Green, who I think is here tonight, to Denise, who is outstanding. Many of you in this audience have been mentors to TEAK kids, more than one for some of you over the last 25 years. We've had donors, and many of you in this audience have been giving to the TEAK Fellowship consistently for 25 years. That allowed TEAK to build and grow the program, gave us the confidence to make commitments to these kids, and it's allowed us to grow from 22 entry-level kids to now 50 today. And more than anything, we've had, as you've heard, hundreds of fellows that have gone on to great high schools, great colleges, and our successes in cities across the country and in various walks of life. It is extraordinary for a program to excel consistently for 25 years and have successful successions of boards, board chairs, executive directors, staffs. TEAK has done it. And I think a big reason why is we used to talk 25 years ago about the fact the problems of the world during our lives are not going to be solved by somebody else. If you want to solve a problem in education in New York City, it's going to have to be us working together. We're going to solve these problems. TEAK has had that mindset, and it's the reason why TEAK is so outstanding today. And I'm confident with your leadership and your support and that mindset, we're going to have another 25 years where we make a difference to New York City kids and make a positive difference in this world. Thank you very much.